Hello, everyone. Welcome to our session. My name is Wafa Ahmadieh. I'm one of the AWS principal solution architect. I'm working in global financial sector. I'm part of a large team that we are looking after JPMorgan Chase with their migration to AWS. I'm honored to have Amy with me on the stage from JPMorgan. And we have created a fantastic talk to go through JPMorgan Chase, that how they are using AI/ML services to improve the productivity in the contact center. So I'll let Amy introduce herself, and then we get through the talk.
Hi, everyone. I'm Amy Ellenberger, and I'm the CTO for machine learning for operations within Chase. We focus on predictive modeling. We focus on NLU and NLP solutions, and really contact center optimization, which is why we're here today.
So let us walk you through this journey. Customer service is important. We all know that the customer service is important. But how important is it really? Let's look at the number. On a survey, on a PwC survey that we have done, 75% of the people said that having a good customer service is a really key factor for them to choose a provider. I personally am happy to pay a bit more every month to make sure that either is my bank or is my phone provider or internet provider. I'm happy to pay more. That when I've got an issue and I'm grabbing the phone, calling the customer service, I receive what I'm expected. But the more interesting number is that half of the people, or almost half the people, they will turn around and find another provider after just one bad experience. That's quite astonishing, that number. But on the positive side, 85% of the companies, they are telling us that they actually can improve their customer service through the call center when they introduce technologies and when they are bringing AI/ML to improve the productivity of their agents. So we are going to dive deeper into these. If you haven't done this at this reInvent, we are trying something new. So we got the polling. You can grab your phone, scan this, or you can go on AWS reInvent app. On the right-hand side, click on More, and the third is a live polling. Just put that number, 307177, and let us know that which of the following is actually your contact center challenges or your customers are facing. I'll give you a few seconds to see how is the room feeling about these challenges. OK, so all of them, basically. That wasn't surprising. When we were doing other sessions, it seems that these are the challenges that most of our customers are facing, I think in the equal number, 32%, 18, 25, that with your existing call centers or with your customers. Let's move on. So what you can introduce with AI/ML to your services is to basically not only tackle the time that the customer is on the call by two ways. One is that you want to transfer the call to the right agent. I think at Chase we call them specialists. Is that right?
That's right.
So you want to find the right specialist. Especially, for example, for a large organization like Chase, if I've got a credit card problem or a debit card problem, there are two maybe different specialists. So while I'm calling the call center, I want to talk to that specialist first before going through department to the department. Not only that, we want to make sure that we empower the agent to resolve my problem much, much quicker. So the other issue is that we saw in the result is high agent turnout. With introducing AI/ML, you can actually make their life a bit easier. What you can introduce is things like chatbot or self-agent assist to answer some of those questions earlier, or having a good knowledge-based system to bring all the information that that agent needs to be able to resolve the problem much, much quicker. And obviously, you've got tons of data that you can find out that what are the areas that you can improve in your customer service. More importantly, cost saving. You can do a lot of cost saving when you introduce AI/ML. Let's dive deeper. At Amazon, we got two options. Amazon Connect, I'm sure almost maybe all of you or majority of you know what Amazon Connect is. It's an easy-to-use cloud contact center with a built-in AI/ML in it. So that's one solution. If you have worked, I have worked in the past with designing call centers. Sometimes it takes 6 months to 12 months even to just design networking and everything else with the call center. With Amazon Connect, with 5 minutes, few clicks, you got a call center. Literally got a call center to use. Every single of you, you can just go on your AWS account. If you don't have an AWS account, create a free tier, just have Amazon call center within 5 minutes. The other option that we have got is what we call CCI. How many of you, by raising hand, heard about CCI? OK, not many, but quite few. So today we are going through the CCI solutions, or AWS Contact Center Intelligence. What we heard from the customer, obviously Amazon Connect is a good service for really easy build contact center for many, many of our customers. But many of our large enterprise customers, like Chase, or many other financial sector, they already have got a call center. Either it's Genesys or Cisco, Avaya, or anything else. CCI is actually a combination of the services that we created the solutions to integrate to all of these, no matter what call center that you've got, to bring AI/ML services into it. So CCI is not a product. It's not an off-the-shelf product that you buy. And it's not a new service. Is it too complex? Not really. It's just a combination of the services that we already created some solutions, because there is no one T-shirt fit all. With every enterprise customer that we have got, they've got different needs. So we had to make it flexible enough that you meet your goals with the CCI solution that we've got. So there are 3 use cases with CCI. Self-service virtual agents that, for example, chatbot, we talked about it, or IVR solutions, when you would like to resolve the customer issues before even you transfer the call to a live agent. On the right-hand side, you got post-call analytics. So that's where you are going through all of your data. Either it's for a month, or for the whole year, or for the week. And you want to go through all of your data and see what are the common problems. Where are the area of improvement? Where I can focus. What are common problems with my customer? What are the common problems with my agent that I can improve that? So we've got post-call analysis, CCI solutions. We got self-service virtual agents, or the middle one, which in this talk we are going to dive deeper into that, which is real-time call analysis and agent assist. Behind the CCI is basically these AI/ML services. If you need to create an IVR, if you need to do a conversational AI, you will use Amazon Lex. Obviously, as soon as you try to do IVR, then based on your business need, you need to do some text-to-speech. That's where Amazon Poly is coming. If you are in an environment that you need to do multi-language, obviously you need Amazon Translate. So that's come to the picture. You can think of them as a Lego boxes, and we created a solution to put them together. You might say that, well, I don't need a translation, but I do need this and that. For example, a knowledge base. You might need a knowledge base to help your agent that I call the bank, say that I've lost my credit card. Then you can immediately tell the customer that's OK. If it's to do with losing credit card, these are the things that you can tell the customer. For that, we have got intelligent search, which is Amazon Kendra, that you can use for your knowledge base system. And Amazon Transcribe, and I'm so happy that we have got one of our senior product managers from Amazon Transcribe. Toward the end of this talk, we are going to dive deeper into the architecture, and we have a QA to answer your questions about Amazon Transcribe as well. So, and we go through the use case of the JPMorgan Chase. So if you need to do speech-to-text, Amazon Transcribe is one of the services that you are going to use. Who has heard about TCA? Transcribe Con Analytics. OK, perfect. That's actually an announcement we had yesterday. TCA was enabled. Transcribe Con Analytics, we had it for a year or 2. And it was doing fantastic things for you. So with TCA, what it was doing before, it was doing the batch. So you would putting all your call recording into a S3 bucket, and then you were running a job against that S3 bucket. You would say that, OK, these are a month of call recording that I've got. And out of the box, it will give you 3 things, which is really, really important. So if you want to know that what is the main issue of each call, you cannot go read all the text or listen to all your calls. So one of the things that TCA will give you, main issue. What is the main issue with that call? That gives you out of the box. The other thing that TCA will give you is, which is actually very, very good for improvement, in your call center is that, has my agent promised anything? Is there any action that I told the customer that will get back to you? And then you can put them in a category and then go back to see that, have you actually done what you promised to the customer or not? That's the other thing that TCA is giving to you. The third one is a call summary. It gives you a call summary of each call. But more importantly, TCA has got an engine that you can, a rule engine that you can create a rule. You can create as many rules as you want. I'm sure there's a quota limit. I can't remember top of my head. But you can create many rules to say that, for example, I want to know all the calls that there is more than a minute silence in it. I want to know all the calls that, for example, in the last 60 seconds, the sensitive of the call was negative. I want to know the calls that ended badly. One of the things that our customers are using a lot, I want to know all the calls that the agent at the end didn't say that, can I help you with anything else? I want to know all the calls, that's one of the most use cases, that the customer on the phone says that, I want to talk to your manager. You want to know those calls, put them in a category, and then take some actions. So this was exist in TCA, or Transcribe Call Analytics. What we announced yesterday, you can do that all live. You can do that all in real time now. So imagine a call center. I'm an angry customer. I ring, and I say that I want to cancel my subscription. Live, you can send it. You can flag that call, and you can send your supervisor to go and help that agent before that call gets escalated. I'm going to show you a demo at the end about this. I'm going to ask you another question. Let's have the phones ready. Before I hand over to Amy, I'd quite like to know that what are these call centers you are actually dealing at the moment? Let's see where we are with the results. Oh, wow. Again, we see that that's not unexpected. That's what we were thinking that we get today. And that's what we are actually experiencing with most of our enterprise customers as well, in exact same. I've got one. Perfect. Let's go back. And this is the last question, I promise. I'm not going to do that again. So I'd like to know that what you have got in the pipeline for next year. Let's check the result. Oh, wow. That's interesting. Because on another talk, it was a lot more on the self-service virtual. It seems that's perfect. So we'll go through, at the end of the slide, we'll go through how you can get help from what we have built in CCI Solutions and how we can help you. But let's go through the fantastic journey that JPMorgan went to build live Agent Assist.
All right. So I like to start at the top. Technology at JPMorgan, there's a lot that JPMorgan Chase has to be able to do. We focus on scale, on reliability and security. And then we overlay the ability to innovate using AI/ML as a part of our key investment strategy. This is across all pillars, and it is something that we're intentional on. When I break it down to Chase, we actually stood up a focused team a couple of years ago to start solving operations problems through automation and applying AI/ML. And the reason we're focused here is some of these key pain points that you see today. Right now, Chase has 66 million households and 5 million small businesses that we run and service on a day-to-day basis. With those customers, 62 are digitally active. 48.9 million have our mobile app. These are double-digit growth year over year. I was going to say every day. It's not every single day, but we are continually pushing new self-service capabilities out into the market. We want to make sure that we're meeting the customers where they are and where they want to be. Personal finances and banking become emotional. This isn't something that I can drop the ball on. When they try to make a payment, when they want to do a transfer, this is affecting their day-to-day lives, and we have to be there for them. One of the other driving factors for the kinds of work that we're after is the fact that not only is money personal, but people are using multiple channels. 50% of our customer base are starting online, going to the app, they interact with us in all facets, every channel. They come into our kiosks, they're at the ATM, they're in our branches, and then they call our call center. Bringing everything we know about them together allows us to personalize an experience and understand what they want to be able to do. So with all of these digital self-service capabilities coming to life and new capabilities coming live, not every day, but really frequently, how do we keep up? And why do I still see 32 million calls coming into a call center? So let's take a look at the Chase call center experience. I don't know how many of you here are Chase customers. If you are, thank you. I'm hoping to continue to earn your business. But while you're here, the first thing we do is put you through IVR. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's terrible, but we are focusing on improving using NLU and other automated prompts. And right now, I can cut out probably 2/3 of the calls by allowing self-service and automation to take over in that space. So once you're authenticated, and if I haven't gotten you through haven't delivered an ability to self-serve in that channel, we'll connect you to a specialist. But the specialist will then validate your identity. But problem identification is the piece that continues to add swirl. How do I know at which level of granularity? How do we be able to knit through everything they say? There's a backstory for how they lost their card. There's a reason they need to be able to transfer things. What is the disambiguation we have to go through in terms of clarifying the right intent so that we're creating the right task and workflow for our agents? And then finally, we want to make sure that this is handled and dealt with and closed out. First contact resolution is our goal. So after the call, we do a wrap-up. Now, the quality of the wrap-up really drives the insights and the analytics capabilities of our teams, as well as the models and the accuracy of the predictive power that we have using the entire data chain, and not only just thinking of it as an exhaust, but thinking of it as a product. How can I consume it and make more value? So what can I do with AI/ML? Again, self-service automation. Just take it out. How can I make it easy for a customer to do what they want to do? Second, understand why someone's calling. This does more than just making sure that the agent is ready. How do I feed that back in to the capabilities and feature function in our backlog for the feature roadmap for digital? How do I make sure that our chatbots can handle these things? How do I make sure that live chat can handle these things? And how do I make sure that these are easy and seamless workflow processes omnichannelly? One of the things we haven't talked about yet is making sure they have the right answer at the right time. When you're a company the size of Chase, we do have a ton of different product offerings out there. How do I make sure that the right one with the right answers are in front of the agent at that time so that you don't have to sit on hold for 90 seconds while we're going through a 500-page document to find that one answer about that one APR about the third card that you have in your wallet? Making sure that this is at their fingertips is key. And then having accurate data. I talked about that call summarization capability, and we're very excited about that announcement yesterday. So a couple of years ago, we went through a pandemic. We had just launched this idea of we're going to stand up an AI-focused organization. We're going to optimize the call center. Then the world changed, and our agents started working from home, hybrid environments, 2 days in the office, 2 days back somewhere else. And the ability for their natural ability to team, work together, and ask for help went away. So it created this opportunity for us to really understand and prioritize the development of a virtual agent assistant tool. You can no longer just tap your buddy on the shoulder and say, hey, have you seen this before? Hey, which article do I need? What is the form that I have to fill out? How do I press that button? You can't hear the heated voice and tone of the customer and raise your hand so that your team lead can come and help you out. So we decided to build a virtual agent. So what we wanted to be able to do is make sure the agent had the intent at their fingertips as fast as possible. We wanted to make sure that while we were doing that, we would automatically surface the article so they didn't have to search more than once. We wanted to make sure that we had next action, so the right next service action to avoid the second callback. And we wanted to make sure that at the end of the day, customer NPS went up. Now, it's also great if the employee experience goes up. So we created this tool, and it side seats our virtual agents. So now, when you sit there, you can see the transcript go on live. We are passing in information from the IVR so you know what the customer thinks their intent is. We have the ability to pop up other things, and it cues off of both our agents and our customers' voices, so you can hear Chase speak, and different entities and ideas will pop. And the associated knowledge article will pop and populate on the right-hand side. We are measuring success, and we have a ton of experimentation going on right now. We're learning into what's valuable to the customer, what's valuable to the employee experience as a whole. So you see some of the metrics we're tracking at the bottom. Whether it's first call resolution, average handle time, reduction in transfers, what are the things that we can do to improve the end-to-end experience for both sides of this coin, the agent and the employee? So this is what we came up with. If you take a look, we've got our audio streaming in. It was, to be fair, the first time we did this, we did not use managed services. We built a ton of homegrown manual solutions that took a lot of care and feeding and optimization, and it took us a while to get it to a point where we were comfortable exposing this to some of our agents. We learned a ton along the way, and that's really what I'm hoping you guys get out of this talk. So, yes, we were able to have customer audio streamed in real time. It was transcribed using our existing incumbent engine that we use to store a lot of our recordings. We had the ability to, after the call was transcribed, take it through some homegrown NLP models, extract intents, entities, pop them up on the screen, and then use that to queue off an Elasticsearch query in the back end through our knowledge management articles. And in doing this, it created a lot of churn in the experience itself. As new entities were popping, as we were refining some of these things, the knowledge pane would change. And the experience, although not optimal, was progress. So I am a big fan of progress over perfection, and you'll see that in some of the iterative development approaches that we take here at Chase. The last piece is making sure that we had the ability to not only pop the intent, but if that knowledge article had some guided content, that we could show them the scripting and do some coaching in real time. What we found is that transcription and the accuracy of it was really important. This was the foundation that we were building a lot of our intent models, our entity models, our knowledge base. We were looking at call reason and volumes to even prioritize the things that we would want to be able to execute, contain in self-service, and we needed to be able to get it right. So we cut over and decided to start using Amazon Transcribe. We went live this summer. What we saw was approximately, depending on line of business, 12% reduction in word error rate. That is important for two reasons. One, no frontline agent or specialist is going to trust a tool that confuses the words chase and cheese. So making sure that these things are relevant and they could actually see and feel the improvement of the engine as it goes creates a level of confidence in the tool. If it understands and can see these things and it stops getting simple things wrong, I'm going to have a better faith that it's going to give me the right advice. Trusting a tool to tell you what to do takes some time. The other thing we learned is that I said it in the beginning, we are very security focused here at Chase. Not only do we have regulatory compliance things that we want to make sure we're handling, but personally identifiable information is key. And I don't want to be the person on the front page of the Wall Street Journal having messed something like that up. So we had a very manual 3-step process to extract any PII from a transcript before we could store it or use it or push it to downstream systems. It came out of the box, and we were able to test it and hit our accuracy requirements that we have internal to the bank. The other thing that I as an engineering lead loved was that because this was a managed service, although we did work through optimization, but I didn't have to have the same level of manual data wrangling. We didn't have the same kind of level of effort to try and pull all of these things together with our pipelines, our constant maintenance and support. I was able to save 3 FTE. Now, that doesn't sound like a ton, but that does help me advance my UI, the other features I've got to do and work through, and not just, I was going to use the word babysit, but really focus on just one piece of the puzzle. So having a solid foundation that our agents believe in, that we see improving, that we have the ability to optimize, really started to unlock our capability here. So I talked before that we wanted to be able to use these models for inclusion, or the output of the transcription capability to go into modeling. But let's talk a little bit more of the why. Call summary, the way we use it today, is we have an incumbent tool, takes all of our transcriptions and categorizes everything with a main call reason. We also have some agent tools, depending on the line of business, where they select the main reason and if it was handled or not. 40% of those calls are labeled general inquiry. That's not insightful. That doesn't help me figure out what I have to fix in a digital workflow. It doesn't help me figure out how I improve our knowledge management structure. If it's about a payment, what was wrong with the payment? If it's about a transaction, what do you need to know? How do I improve the customer experience when all I know is that 40% of my 33 million interactions are labeled general inquiry? And that's 33 million a month. So, speed to insights. That's what I'm after. How can I change and improve the customer experience? How do I improve the support that I'm giving my employees? That's one of our keys. Now, call summary is also an interesting beast, because if I can figure it out from a call reason, I can get more predictive. I can catch them in chat. I can email them before it happens, and I can learn more about next call avoidance. How do I get to a suite of capabilities that says, while I have you, why don't we walk through and set up autopay? Why don't I help you set up some alerts so you'll get a text message the next time your bill is due? Why don't I show you how to use the app? Let's do this together. Every interaction with a customer at Chase is an opportunity to deepen the relationship that we have. We strive to be the bank for all. I can't be the bank for all if I don't understand the needs and goals and help you deliver it as a partner. That's what we're after here, and that's what drives us every day. So I talk all the time about data and needing data for modeling. These are the kinds of things that I can get through, ingest as features into our model, and change the way we work. And lastly, that more seamless omni-channel customer experience. Has anyone ever been talking to a bot and then really needed a person, and then ended up having them call, and then you get put into the IVR, and then you have to authenticate 700 times, and then the person who finally answers the phone says, what are you calling about? After you already told them on the chat, and then told them in the IVR, and then told the person a third time, and then they say, hang on, I can't help you, let me transfer the call. I never want that to be my Chase experience. So that's what we're after. How do I seamlessly pick up a workflow and help you finish that transaction? So let's talk about knowledge management a little bit. This is exciting for us because our knowledge management answers repository, I don't know how many other people feel this way, but my opinion is it reads kind of dry, like an encyclopedia. So when you're trying to get the right answers and you're sifting through all of these things, it's a lot easier to try to use a tool that allows you to get to sentence level accuracy of what is the answer. If I just want to know what is the APR on that card, I can get there using a tool like this. So the curation of doing the Elasticsearch took us a while. Making sure that we had the ability to kind of get through and have relevant answers was a very manual task. We also needed to have the right set of training data and a representative sample of all those intents that aren't frequently asked questions. How do I answer those? Because that's what the agents need help on, not the calls that they see every single day. They know how to do that. They can process a payment with their eyes closed. But what happens in those niche cases, and how do I get them to the right answer as fast as possible? So we did a proof of concept with Kendra, and the experience was great. I gave the team, and this is important, I gave my team a week. You have 1 week to hack this together, and let's just see what it can do without us over-engineering and trying to make sure it's absolutely perfect. Let's just see how good it can be and what comes out of the box. So in that week, they were able to plug it in, get the piping all done. But this is what I saw that made me excited. I had the ability to, out-of-the-box, incorporate agent feedback. We have that capability in our existing tool, but it's at the overall experience level, like every call. Did this tool help you? Yes or no? This allows me to get just about the knowledge article, is it relevant or not? And how do I make sure that I listen and learn over the course of time? It also had an out-of-the-box filtering capability. So a customer might have more than one account with us. How do I make sure I can toggle between them? I don't just make an assumption they have one question. They very often say, while I have you on the phone, you need to be able to toggle. That capability came out of the box. We also had the ability to add FAQs from other sources of any kind of alert system. So instead of them going through an email, we could create something that said, hey, there was an event that happened yesterday, and there's going to be some people who are affected by it. Here's what happened. Here's the people who are affected, and allow that to just be a part of the initial experience. And like I said before, I gave them 1 week to get this going, and the accuracy was really comparable. And the team was really excited about the out-of-the-box capability, but also the ability to optimize. What if we enhanced our intent modeling? What if we combined this and Kendra? What if we, how could we take Lex, Comprehend, and Kendra and make something really impressive? So more to come on this. And then lastly, any engineering team knows that your end user does not use your product the way you initially thought. So one of the things we're able to do is create champions. We have a model office now. We sit side by side. We listen to their calls. We watch the tools that they click on. We see their struggles through knowledge management searches and what's going to be relevant or not. But more importantly, they've taught us about the business. So I sit down and have them grade my papers. How are the intent models doing? What level of granularity are we getting? We can go through the ontology and the parent-child relationships of the entities that we have built out, and they will tell me, you are great up to here. But there's a slight nuance between a stolen card and a lost card, or the way we execute this versus this, or why they can't get a new card right away because they changed their address or they did whatever. And when you go through the conversations with them, as an engineer and as a data scientist, you can start to see the nuances and the things you need to pick up on to be able to optimize it. The other benefit you get is that these model office users become advocates and champions. They're part of your development process. So now not only are they thinking with you and saying, hey, I want new features that do this, they're saying to their friends, I'm a part of this project, and it's actually helping me in my day-to-day job. So let me teach you how to use this tool, which is half the battle in creating any new employee tools. Behavior change is the biggest hurdle that we have to do to adopt some of the capabilities in AIML. So this is where we are today. We still have the audio streaming in real time, but now we're using Transcribe. We've had the ability to parallelize some of the audio stream to not only hit Transcribe, but to be able to get those NLP models straight away. And then have Kendra kick off based on the entities and intents that it's extracting and retrieve knowledge articles for us. All right, with that, I'm going to hand it back to Vafa.
Thanks, Amy. So this is the architecture that at the moment EV program is running on. So the calls are coming from the PSTN. It goes to the, obviously I only put 2 boxes here, but you can imagine how complex is contact center of Chase. It goes through a number of firewalls and number of services, homegrown services, as well as other third-party solutions. And then we have got a server that we call it Secure Conversational Gateway. What it does, actually, you got two options when you want to stream the audio, more than two options. But one of the options that we chose for EV, which I'm not going through that, why? Because we had lots of experiment there, was to use an open source protocol called GPRC. That at the moment, we are transferring the voice to AWS. Another team actually at Chase, that after that we've done that, they are using Chime SDK and using Kinesis to transfer the voice there. And we are trying to compare these two projects at Chase to see that which one has got a better performance. Because as you know, the performance is the key. You want to have this in the real time. You want to stream the audio in the real time. You want to get the answer back. You cannot, if 5 seconds gone, then the moment of helping the agent is gone. So the key, every millisecond for us was matter when we were designing this. And then it goes through the AWS Direct Connect, obviously, go through the transit gateway. So the latency of the network was, for us, was the issue that we were doing lots of load testing there and stress testing there. And then you got 2 EKS cluster. So the first one that the audio is getting streamed to is responsible to call the transcribe, get the transcription. And we're using MSK because it needs to send it for lots of auditing purposes and other places that needs to get stored. It goes there. You call the transcribe, you get back. You got the intent and everything that you already done machine learning before that was happening on-prem, non-SageMaker that, you know, OK, what are the intents? Oh, customer says I've lost my credit card. And then you'll find the answers through that DynamoDB or Kendra, which is not at the moment because we are going live with the Kendra. At the moment, the POC is done. And then there is a UI on EKS as well that the agent can real time while they are talking to the customer, the things pops up here to help the customer. I said I lost my credit card. These are the 3 links that will help you with customer. So that's the Chase, but obviously was lots of challenges. And for us, the main challenge was to do the load testing for the number of calls, about 33 million calls, 10,000s of agents. So we needed to make sure that all of this infrastructure can scale up and down wherever they need it. When you got 1,000 agents or 10,000 or 15,000, this should do exactly the same thing. So most of our time was spent on the load testing. So maybe this was complicated at the beginning when we started and doing it, but going back to CCI solutions that I was talking through my talk, these are the things that we already built for you. Everybody in this room, you can just go do a couple of clicks and you'll have this up and running in your account. And I'm going to show you how. And there are 2 things we always say at Amazon. We always say that everything in IT goes wrong. And a very wise person told me that don't do a live demo. But guess I'm going to go do a live demo. So let's see. Right, let me jump on my AWS account, or one of the AWS accounts. Right, you can just go on Google and just search for live call analytics. You'll see this demo. Or we call it LCA, or you can, I think the first item that comes on top is this blog that you have got for live call analytics. That's one of the solutions that we built for CCI. Goes through all the configuration. You can actually watch this really interesting presentation that we've done in the past. It goes through all the setups, everything that you've got, and it gives you a cloud formation there. So you can actually run this cloud formation. And as I said, it's a few clicks. We'll call it LCA reinvent, if I can spell, 22. And these are all the options that it gives you based on your need. For example, you can have a demo, or you are using Chime. You would like to use Chime voice connector, or you got Genesis Cloud, for example, or Amazon Connect, whatever it is. So obviously, this is a starter kit. This solution is going to give you a starter with just a few clicks, so you'll have your live agent assist up and running, and then you start customizing it for your business need. I'm not going to do any of that, so it goes through Kendra. Do you want to do call recording on S3? how you want the transcription configuration. All of your transcript configuration is here. What language? Do you want to take the PII out or not? So on that blog that I've mentioned, it's going to explain all of this configuration to you. And all I need to do, say that, yeah, I'm happy with everything, and then create this stack for me. Wait for 10 minutes. You've got a live agent system. I'm not going to keep you waiting. I've created it before. Let's jump on. Another account. So that's the CloudFormation that I've built. And if you look at the output of what it gives you, we actually give you even a UI. So let me just go back to that architecture for a few seconds to explain a bit more what's happening. So basically, what I've created here is going to put a demo for me on EC2, which I'm going to call it now, just basically a zip trunk. And we are using Chime connector, stream it. We're going to stream that call. Over here, we are using Lambda. We call the Transcribe. We actually created one, which I think went live yesterday or day before. We created one with TCA as well. So this is using Transcribe and Comprehend. We created one with TCA as well. So you can search for that, and you can use it. And we put stuff in the S3 bucket, obviously. Again, another Kinesis stream that you do your comprehend to find out what's happening with the call. And obviously, it's a very simple UI. Then later on, you can replace that API that it creates your UI. It's a very simple UI that is on the S3 bucket. And we are using AppSync to update that UI for you. And the agent can see that. And as you can see here, things that this CloudFormation is created for me. It's already created this UI. Obviously, you can create this UI the way that you like. And let's see how it works, if it works. Let me check that. It already gives you, by the way, that demo, it already created a phone number for you. Make sure I'm not calling my manager on the live demo.
Thank you for calling Mechanic Michelle, Seattle's only all-female auto shop. This is Maria. How can I help you today?
You can see the call there. We already got a call in real time. I'm talking, obviously, that's a demo. Nobody's there. Don't worry. So, and I can call to my phone and say that, hello, let's go to this call, see what's happening. I'm very happy with your service. I'm grateful. And you'll see that live is happening there. And you can see it's kind of happy, neutral, and then maybe we are talking in the middle. I'll wait for the demo to say something. Maybe let's try it. Say, what? I'm not happy with your service. I need to talk to your manager. It went red. You'll see that.
Yeah, sure. So just to confirm, would you like me to try to troubleshoot over the phone with you, or would you like to bring it in and have one of our mechanics check it out in person?
No, I just don't like anything about your company. I want to cancel my subscription, and I want to go.
Okay, great. Are you with your car right?
So you'll see, it's already actually picked up an issue detected there. We've got the issue detected there. You can already alarm it. You can already send a supervisor to go, and you can see all the, let me just disconnect the call. As soon as I disconnect the call, you got the full transcription there as well for you. You can see your call. You can see what happened during the call. Obviously, this is a demo, so it was only 15 seconds, but we can go longer. And you got all the insight of the call that you can see exactly what happened, what time it went good, what time it didn't. You got all the transcription that you wanted on the call. If you remember, we talked about the call categories in TCA. You can have those call issues detected and do something about it in real time. A very quick demo, but it just creates 2 clicks. Everybody in this room can do it. Please go try it. And we have just launched one with TCA as well, not with Transcribe. let's go back to some of the resources that I'm going to share with you. So we just went through this. How we can help, obviously. There are many workshops. We've got the CCI team. We've got the business development team. We are more than happy to reach out to your solution architect that they are happy with you. You can go to that website. You see all of our solutions on CCI that we can help. There are many sessions, although some of them were yesterday, but you got today more sessions, and tomorrow we got more sessions as well. And these resources, if you like to take a picture, they are, or if you just search CCI or live call analysis, you'll find them on the Google as well, of all the blogs that we've written and all the solutions that we've created, that you can use it as a starter kit, and then you can evolve it for your customer need the way that we have done for Chase. And thank you very much. We're going to go through a QA.